In this week's vlog, I'm going to tell you how I ran a PB at the London Marathon 2023. What is up, guys, and welcome to the weekly vlog, and a very relaxed weekly vlog walking along the beautiful River Leeds. So that was an epic weekend at the London Marathon 2023, and I thought it'd be worth, in this week's vlog, sort of looking back and reflecting on how I achieved what I achieved, just going through the day and sort of, breaking it down and giving you some insight into how I achieved that 3:39 marathon. Now, firstly, let me know in the comments, did you run the London Marathon with me? Let me know in the comments what you got. Did you have a good day? How was it for you? Was it your first? Was it your fifth? Let me know in the comments and I'll dive in there once this video drops. Okay, right, so training wise, hopefully you saw the recap that we did. Leading up to the race that week, I've got to be honest with you, I really wasn't feeling in tip-top condition. I really wasn't feeling the race. I really wasn't feeling ready, even up all the way to the start line. I don't know what it was, but I just wasn't feeling race ready. But the guys on the show on Friday, if you don't know what that is, check it out. We do a live stream every Friday at 7 o'clock. It's also an award-winning podcast, so check that out. It's called The Long Run. But those guys recommended to me on Saturday to pop out for a little, almost shakeout run. And that's what I did. And I think actually that really worked. So race morning came, the weather was terrible. I don't know if you've seen the race vlog, hopefully you have, but it was chucking it down full of rain. We got to the yellow start, which was really cool because there wasn't many people in it. But we was like 15,000 layers on and a rain thing over us to try and keep dry. But we got underway and we soon settled into our pace. Now, ideally in the first 3 miles, I was looking to hit 8:15 per mile, which I did. And then I was looking to drop down to about 8-minute miles, but we didn't manage that. The boys were happy at that sort of 8:15 per mile pace, and I was kind of loving life with running with the boys, so I was pretty relaxed, and I switched my focus to negative splitting the race. So I was well within myself. 6 miles came and went. Cutty Sark was a little bit quieter than I expected, but we got through there again at that 8:15, 8:20 pace. But I kept in front of the boys marginally, but I could just feel like I wanted to go. But at the same time, I was kind of stuck between wanting to stay with my mates and wanting to push on. It was a real hard choice to make. So anyway, we got up to Tower Bridge, we crossed halfway, and I celebrated as we went across with the boys, and it was just an epic experience. But then as soon as I hit 13 miles, I knew I had to actually kick on because they were very happy with where they wanted to be and I felt good, so I needed to kick on. So I started putting in pace down at about 8:10, just to try and ask a few questions as I pushed on to Canary Wharf. So I had a great run up to Canary Wharf. The miles were ticking away, and I got through there, saw the 40 Runs cheer station, which was amazing. I turned, and then all of a sudden I was at 20 miles, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to drop it down to about 8-minute miles again. Let's see what's there. And I just got to that pace, and I got to that rhythm, but I did have that sort of thing in the back of my head, is not to push too much, 40, not to push too much. What happens if you blow up? What happens if you blow up? And that was sort of, I don't know, on my shoulder the whole way. So I was really holding back. I felt like, it sounds funny, but I felt like a bit of a racehorse ready to go hard. But I don't know, I was just like being held back a little bit by my own brain. But anyway, we moved on. So yeah, the miles just kept ticking by, and I was just going through the paces really. I got down to like 7:50 per mile, and I was like, no, slow down. You still got like 3 miles to go. And then I got to a Big Ben pretty quick, and then you're basically less than a mile to go. And I was just looking at the watch thinking, okay, let's just dip under 3:40. So I got down to Birdcage. I don't remember seeing anybody, by the way, as I was coming back towards London. Even though quite a few people said that they saw me, I didn't see anybody. I was so focused on sort of keeping control over the pace. But yeah, I got down to Birdcage. I didn't see my brother, and I always see my brother there. 600 metres, turned Palace, and carried on through the finish. And yeah, that was it. So yeah, I finished, 3:39, and that was great. But I crossed the line, and not being funny, but I felt like, this is bad, but I felt like I could have gone a lot faster. Now, you've got to respect the marathon distance, okay? You've got to respect the marathon distance. And I wanted to put a good effort in, but I didn't want to blow up. And I knew I had it in my legs because I ran that 1:36, for argument's sake, half marathon. It was a little bit quicker than that, but a 1:36 half marathon, I wasn't dead. So I knew that it was there, but I didn't want to push too much, again, because I know the marathon can bite you. So I was sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place all day. And that's the thing, I think I ran too slow in the first half, but that's fine. I'm very, very cool with that because I've got to run with the boys, and I will never forget that experience again of running across the bridge with them. But if I'm looking purely on a selfish point of view, purely at times, then I would say I ran the first half probably a little bit too slow. I should have been more, I should have gone 8:15 down to 8 and then held 8 for as long as I could. I think that would have been a better idea. But then it's all very easy to sit here now afterwards and say, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. But the bottom line is, I ran a good race. If you look at the splits, I ran a very consistent race, which I think is key for marathons. I think it's a key for any race, really. And I had my strategy, but I had to adapt it. And I did adapt it when I was out there because of the slightly slower start to the race, but that's fine. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel amazing the fact that I ran a PB at London, but at the same time I'm sort of thinking, I probably should have gone faster. So that's the London Marathon 2023, or my London Marathon 2023, summed up in, you know, 5 or 6 minutes really. Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was amazing seeing my mum and dad on course again at Narrow Street. Like I said, I didn't see anybody on the way in, which was a bit weird because I just must have been so focused on my pace. I just kept thinking, no, don't go yet, don't go yet. Because usually in a race, my second half is stronger because my anxiety levels have dropped and I'm really getting into it. But I was really holding myself back. Like I said to you, I kept finding 7:50, which seemed to be the pace for me on the back. But I was so frightened of holding it and not to blow up that I kind of held myself back. But you know what, you live and learn, and this is the great thing, right? We go again. So this is part 1 of 2 videos. Next week we're going to talk about what's next because we've got some amazing things coming, and this London Marathon 2023 is just sort of blown up my expectations for the year, but going forward and giving me some sort of possibly new goals to think about. But make sure you tune in next week for the weekly vlog for that, and we're going to go through what's next, what my sort of next aspirations are, what my next challenges are, and what I'm thinking sort of slightly longer term actually after running this time. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks to everybody who supported me out on course. I wasn't wearing a 40 runs top because I tried to go under the radar, but you guys were still saying hi, which is really nice. Thanks for all the support and everything. It's just been an amazing journey, so thank you to everybody, and that's probably about it for this week's vlog. I'll catch you later.